What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Here's your boy, host with the most, the Hat Man, and I'm with my boy Kiss Sagoy. You know, you probably heard a couple of tracks of his music in my channel before, but I just felt like talking about something a little different, but still in the same function as my channel, and that's the fact that we are truly in a fighting game renaissance right now, which is a good thing, definitely a good thing, but also a bad thing as a player. Like, as a viewer, if you know you watch tournaments on Twitch, or you know you go to conventions, or they have their own tournaments, and you know you win prizes and stuff like that, you can see the variety is super real. Like, it is crazy, and it's great for a viewer. It's great for a casual player, and it's great for somebody that just wants to beat some ass every now and again. But if you're really trying to learn a game, and you really want to get good at the game, it's a bitch and a half. Because, okay, let's see, like, I'm just go down the list right now of games that people are currently playing, or that are soon to be coming out. So you got what, BlazBlue Cross Battle, which is coming out. You have Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is coming out at the end of this month. Street Fighter V, which is coming out with AE on the 16th, which is 2 days from now. And you have MVCI, which has gotten some updates. You have Guilty Gear Rev 2 that people still play. You have,
and there is a balance update coming soon for Rev 2.
There's an update coming for Rev 2 as well. Then you have the Boku no Hero Arena Fighter, which is coming out. So people that really love the Naruto Ninja Storms and stuff like that will definitely be jumping on that. You got KOF 14, which people still play. Killer Instinct, BlazBlue Chrono Phantasm.
Central Fiction.
Yeah, Central Fiction, my bad. Central Fiction. Unio ST, which we should be getting that in the States soon, hopefully.
That people are already playing.
Yeah, like that people are already playing.
Who like that series have already been playing for quite a while.
Yeah. If you have a Japanese account on PS4, you can play the ST update, Injustice 2, MKX, which people still play, and Tekken 7. And then that's not even to mention the indie fighters like Punch Planet that are coming out right now.
That's really good, and if you got a couple bucks to support a developer, I would recommend picking that up. Definitely.
Definitely. But it's like, as a player, coming from my standpoint as a player, because I'm definitely a player. You just look at my channel and you see that. It's great that we have so much variety. But for somebody that wants to play all these games, it's a bitch and a half because of how much you have to remember. How much you have to remember about your character, how much you got to remember about matchups, how much you got to remember about your own combos. You also have to retrain your muscle memory for certain games because they're going to play different. It's insane. And like, even people that still play old fighters on Fightcade and stuff like that. Like me and Clay, we play Karnovs and like and Alpha 2 and ST like all the time. And it's like with those games, like once you get down what you get down, that's just kind of like ingrained into your head. But that's just because we've been playing them for so long.
Yeah,
like,
they've been out for so long, and depending on where you look, there's a plethora of information around for certain games, so you can find information. But I don't know, like I kind of would have to disagree with Hatman that it's a bad thing for players, simply because you have choices. I mean, this is just 2009 all over again, because if you remember when Street Fighter 4 first came out,
yeah,
we also had BlazBlue's first entry come out.
Yeah,
Tekken 6 came out around the same time. Some of the games escape me, but that 3-year period, I'll say from 2009 to 2012, we had a lot of games come out, and we had a lot of choices as far as the games that we wanted to play. KOF 13, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which if the launch wasn't so bad, I feel like people would have taken to that game a little bit better. Marvel 3, Vanilla Marvel 3 also came out around that time. So I don't think it's anything different. I feel like even with Street Fighter 5 being so divisive around the community, Street Fighter, at the end of the day, love it or hate it, it sets the market. Once Street Fighter hits the streets, it's like hey everybody, safe to come out and play again. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people who play fighting games, we're gonna find out what's coming out over in Japan if it's going to be released on console or on PC. Like, the people who want to play those things are going to play those things. But when it comes to an international market, like, Street Fighter always sets the tone. So when Street Fighter V came out, those other developers were ready to bring out all these games. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, because I feel like all these games have different feels. They have different people that they're aiming at for the most part. So I just feel like we should just sit back and enjoy the fact that we have so many choices as far as the games that we want to play, because, you know, we could be stuck just playing Marvel Infinite and Street Fighter V, and it's like either you love them or you just fucking complain and play your older games that you like. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I feel like you know, especially with ArcSys and Namco and other companies collaborating together so well right now, this is a good thing. You know, and you don't have to fucking take every fighting game that comes out ultra seriously, but it's also good just to have some things to cleanse your palate and to give you a little bit of a different feel, different than what you may be currently grinding on and taking serious. You know, we can't forget about Fighting EX Layer being on the horizon.
Yeah, Flex
well.
2. Flex 2. That's another one that I missed.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I don't know. We're just in the next market cycle. You know, after Street Fighter 4, we're in the Street Fighter 5 era, and things are gonna keep on progressing. Hopefully, I'm glad to see other companies picking up the slack, because I am a Capcom fan. Always have been. They have always been one of my favorite gaming companies, not just for fighting games, but in general. So for me to see them, you know, kind of dropping the ball here as of late kind of hurts me as somebody who grew up with them and grew up revering their output into this lovely industry of gaming. But it's also good when they set the market and the other companies feel confident in their products and also pick up some of the slack for them. So either way, I feel like we're going to be fine. We just need people on the internet to be more objective in the way that they judge things, and don't complain so much. Like one of the things that I've heard that's been very, very testy over the past few days is the BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle character season pass thingy. But we have to remember that this game, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, is not going to be a $60 game at launch. And with the season pass character pack, it is going to end up being the price of a full game. So, you know, the base title
that's the same thing that KI did though. They put out the free version where, you know, you can pay for the characters that you wanted to play, and there was also a $60 version with a full roster. You know, it's an option. There's nothing wrong with that option.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, you don't have to drop that $60. Like, say you buy the game and you just don't like how it plays. Mm-hmm. At least you made a $30 investment and you walked away from it rather than paying, you know, $60 with the 20 extra characters and then not liking the game at all. Because, you know, for me, characters are a big part of the game, but characters don't make the game. Like,
I can't agree with you on that. Because if
no, I'm saying that it doesn't make the game all the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just because I like a character doesn't mean that the character is going to keep me playing the game.
Oh, right. Or just because I only like a certain character, if they're not in the game, I'm not going to buy the game.
Yeah.
Because I bought Rev even though Biken wasn't in it back when Rev came out.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but you still respected the game itself and fucking said, hey, this is a pretty good fighting game.
Yeah.
Like, and you see it a lot in the Street Fighter V community right now. People are acting like if Sagat comes, it's going to make them want to play the game more, or if Cody comes or Sakura comes, it's going to make them want to play the game more. Like, I don't believe that. I love characters.
Look, it's going to do the same exact thing that it's done for the past couple character releases. It's going to bring people back in for about a week, and then they're going to see this same exact fucking game and drop it again.
Well, you know, I'm optimistic that that fucking arcade edition will fucking make me want to play the game for 30 minutes at a time rather than 15. But other than that, I don't want to be too pessimistic, but I also don't want to be too optimistic.
Right.
But overall, like, there's a lot of options. I think there's a lot of variance.
I mean, you even have the SNK Heroine Fighter thing coming out, which is basically Gal Fighter all over again for the Switch.
Yeah, but I don't have any context for that game, so I'm not really, like, me personally. It excites me that SNK is, trying to get back to old form, trying to do the fan service thing, trying to keep us happy first and foremost before anybody else.
Right.
But let's be honest here. I think that the fans more so want a new Fatal Fury or the Garo 2 game that was planned once upon a time that never came all the way to fruition, or a new classical style Samurai Showdown game, or something of that vein. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely hear you because SNK is kind of sitting on a little bit of a gold mine with some of those older titles that they haven't touched in a while.
Yeah. Some of those older IPs, I feel like with more modern gameplay conventions and more of the input from the fans, which I don't think was as big of a thing back in that earlier era of fighting games. I think with the way that SNK reached out, you remember when KOF 14 was rolling out, how they had the survey and they had the community survey, and they had their PR department reaching out to big tournament organizers and big players from all around the world to talk about what they liked about the games and what they think that they should do. I feel like them revisiting another franchise that's fairly popular would do a lot better than what they're trying to do here now. But I'm also not going to pass judgment on SNK trying to do what they think is best for their company, because at the end of the day, I don't feel that KOF 14 was a disappointment. Right. It's not a great KOF game, but it's not a bad fighting game.
Yeah, it's not a bad fighting game at all. Exactly. I mean, I'm also coming at it from the perspective of a content creator and a Twitch streamer, because ain't nobody gonna want to watch a Twitch stream with somebody that don't know how to play the game.
For sure.
So it's like, for all these games that are coming out, you want to catch the wave as soon as possible. Just like with Fighter Z coming out on the 26th, my boy, so many streams are gonna happen at the same damn time on midnight release, or the next day, or the next, and even the days after that.
Yeah. But the thing about Dragon Ball, man, is at the end of the day, Dragon Ball is popular because it's Dragon Ball. And I think that with the reputation that Arc System Works has for making good fighting games and also supporting their good fighting games, it has the opportunity to take things to a new level. I think that the Xenoverse and whoever Budokai backlash will die down over time. I feel like on both sides we need an understanding of what each fan base is used to and why these discussions are being had. I understand like, to some people, fighting games are just characters and moves.
Right.
They don't, like, when they turn on Budokai and they see 100-something niggas, that's what they see. They see 100-something characters, and they're happy with that because in their eyes, that gives them variety.
Right.
Whereas when somebody like you or me turns on a game, if we see too many characters, we're gonna be skeptical, like, on, all right, so number one, how many clones are there?
Yeah, how many clones? Yeah.
How much time did they take to balance each one of these 100 characters against one another?
Right.
Because you see it a lot in, like, KOF games, for example, that have a lot of characters. Mm-hmm. You'll see the craziest character-specific thing because of how the two characters' hitboxes interact, and you could tell that they didn't test those two characters extensively against one another. It's like, you know, like the you know, the KOF 98 Death Combo video that they
Oh
put.
yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, there was some weird things that happened because of hitbox interactions, and it's like, yeah, they probably didn't do too much testing of those two characters.
Right.
Like, you know, so there are different things that we look at when we see these things, whether you're a Xenoverse Budokai person or somebody who's looking for something more along the lines of the tournament fighters that we're familiar with. So I think that once there's more understanding on both sides, I think that some of the people who might have had some things to say about Fighter Z might step back off of that and just realize, hey, this is a fun video game and we should have fun playing it. Like,
Well, I guess that's really all my thoughts about it. I feel like it's great that we're getting so many. We have such a good variety, but it's also really hard because you want to continue to make content for all the new games coming out or all the fighting games that you want to play, and it's like when
well,
it comes
Hatman,
go ahead.
you're not as picky of a fighting game player as some other people that, you know, are a part of the fighting game community at large. I feel like you know what you like, but at the same time you're open to things. Whereas, you know, person A might like something, you know, might like a Marvel type game or a KOF type game, and there are certain games that while they might buy them and they might just play them just to fuck around because it's a fighting game and they like fighting games, like they're gonna take this game seriously and they're just gonna fuck around on this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, some games don't ever have a chance of them taking them seriously, whereas I feel like you personally, you look at it this way because every game that has any type of reputation or cachet, there's a possibility of you taking it serious for even a small amount of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There's a possibility of me wanting to learn all of what this character can do.
like there's a lot of serious fighting game players that are already not really taking Fighter Z seriously, but they're still gonna buy it and still gonna play it and still gonna have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like they're more like, yeah, I'm just gonna double down on Guilty Gear, or I'm gonna learn more Tekken, or I'm gonna fucking pick up Unius when it comes out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
because I definitely want to learn more Tekken. I definitely want to play more Tekken, but at the same time, I want to play all these other
Fighter
ones
Z.
too.
Fighter Z is a game changer to me. You know, I've never really been super big into Marvel type games.
Yeah.
I'll play them with people and have fun with them, but this game, I feel like I would at least try to learn more.
Because like right now, my main games are Tekken 7 and Rev 2.
Because this has been the Dragon Ball game that I think anybody who plays fighting games and grew up on Dragon Ball has been waiting for their entire life.
Definitely.
Before this, the two Dragon Ball fighting games that I felt like were
Super Dragon
were
Ball
good,
Z.
Super Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Z Hyper Dimension for Super Famicom.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
So other than that, the Butoden series was hot garbage. I played all of them just because, you know, I was new into emulation and fucking wow, I could play games from Japan. Wow, they got all these Dragon Ball fighting games. But when you compare them to the other things that were around at the time, they don't even hold a candle. So we've been waiting for this for over 20 years for a company to make something that felt like the rest of the fighting games that we've been playing all this time.
Right.
So I feel like
if you wanted to play a fighting game, like an actual fighting game, and play a Dragon Ball game at the same time, for the most part, it was Budokai 3. Even Budokai 3 had its shit because it wasn't, you know.
It was still built. It was still built with that Naruto Ninja Storm, Saya, JoJo's like
it was a 2.5D game with a huge roster.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, I never seen the complexity that I've heard you and some other people speak about in that game. But I feel like anything 1v1, you can always find some way to be competitive in it. I mean, look at shit like Lethal League and Nidhogg and Dab Kick and things that are, obviously more simple than most competitive fighting games.
But they still got that. Yeah, they still have that.
They still nail the competition aspect and the competitiveness of it pretty well.
Speaking of, when we gonna play Nidhogg?
We can play right now, man.
Well, anyway, I think that'll do it for us for this topic. I'd like to hand it off to you guys and what you think about it. Let me know in the comments. If you like the discussion, please go ahead and hit that like button, and we'll catch you next time. Might start doing some more of these. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you, Clay, for joining me.
Hey, no problem, man. I'm here for you anytime you need me, bro.
Yeah, SoundCloud link will be down below for his music. Definitely should check it out. It's really slick. And,
check me out. It's all about video games and hip-hop mixed together. If you like those two things, then you should fuck with me.
And we're going to get up out of here, guys. See you later.